Well, we're just kicking off MSI here in Vancouver, Canada, with coverage brought to you by you. I am joined right now by Chawy. Chawy, I think that you might be one of only a handful of people that are still in the scene that have been around longer than I have.
Yeah.
Because you got in 2010?
Yeah, 2010,
Yeah,
WCG. Yeah.
Okay. Do you, like myself, feel like an old man walking around at these international events now?
Not really, because esports, most of them are like very, very young kids.
Yes.
So hanging around them makes me feel young.
Okay, yeah. I get that too, actually, where sometimes I feel like I know a lot of the young lingo, but then I also feel so that when I say that around my friends that are my age, they're like, "What are you doing?" But then all the people at these things just call me Unk, if you're familiar with the term. Yeah.
They call me Dad too.
I know Flying Oysters is playing, and I did want to ask a little bit about your expectations for them at the tournament before I ask you a little bit more just about history and esports. But yeah, talk to me a little bit about your expectations for the team.
So my expectation always has been for the players to enjoy the journey, because I myself was an ex-player, right? So I realized that when you really enjoy the tournaments, the matches, you actually perform much better. Because a lot of time players, you'll get too much pressure from all around the places, So even if your head coach is expecting so much from you, you're not gonna play well.
Yeah.
So I always just tell them to just enjoy, and if we lose, then that's it.
Yeah. How valuable are these international events for the team? Because I know that North American teams always want to go to these, and it is valuable for them. But you hear these stories of you get into scrims and you just get like crushed by the LPL and LCK teams over and over again, and sometimes it's hard for them to learn immediately because they're just like losing a ton. So I don't know what it's like on the Flying Oyster side.
So for us, it's not. I think international tournament is like, of course, good, right? Because you let the younger players get a new experience. But for us, we have been scrimming LPL and LCK teams daily. So it's just another daily thing for us.
Yeah. Like, okay, we've been through this before. Yeah. Do you get scrims with teams that you don't normally get access to at these? Because I don't know how easy it is for you to scrim like a T1 or something like that whenever you are back playing in your region.
So usually we get to scrim against the mid to bottom tier LPL and LCK teams most of the time, and rarely we do get scrims with the top tier teams. Yeah. But not T1, sadly.
Yeah. Well, do you think you'll be able to scrim them here?
Not really, from what I hear from the LCK side in international tournaments.
Okay.
They tend to keep things among themselves.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. I know we're going to see how the team does over the next couple of weeks, but I wanted to chat with you a little bit about what it's like for you to have been in the scene for so long and how you've seen it change over the time. So I guess, how different does the scene feel to you in 2025 versus, say, 2010 or even 2020?
How different? I would say, firstly, if you compare to 2010, 2015, the players' mechanics are so bad back then. I look back on my own replay and I'm like, wait, it was so hype back then, and right now the play is like so boring. Yeah. So I feel like the game is evolving a lot, and also the way people play the game, people are smarter about the games. Because I always talk about how a lot of pro players retire and they become coaches. So the coaches evolve and then the game evolve. Yeah. Because I feel like coaches right now are much more smarter about the game. So in the past, it's all about laning phase, and then if you lose, you lose. Bot lane, if you lose, you lose. Top lane, if you lose, you lose. But right now, there's like lane swap. There's so many things you can do to fix the game, to save the game from losing. Yeah. So I also feel like the gap between all the regions are like closing because of all the strategies that's available.
That's cool. Do you feel like the game itself has changed dramatically? Because obviously you're talking about the different strategies, but how much of that is like players and teams figuring that out versus how much of it is like Riot building that stuff into the game?
I'm not too sure, but because we've been playing it every single day, so if you see it every single day, you wouldn't feel like there's big change. But if you skip it, maybe. So for us, who have been in the scene for like every single day, so
Yeah.
you can't really tell. It's like
Yeah.
if I'm with you for like 10 years, I wouldn't tell that you are getting fat or something. But if I haven't seen you for 10 years, oh, dude, you are getting fat. You know?
Yeah. Whatever we're talking about your previous play, and you have the players that are playing with you. Do they ever get a chance to like watch your old clips and go like, oh my god, this was you?
Oh yeah, I did show my players because a lot of the players are much younger, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they don't even know who I was, or didn't even know that I was a pro player.
Yeah.
So because it's like so long.
Oh
the
really?
time.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes I show them play. I like, hey, I used to do this. You know, I used to play this against. I used to play against Faker. You know.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, that's your play. So it's kind of embarrassing.
They make fun. Do you ever hide that because you're like, oh no, I don't want them to see that? They
Yeah,
won't
I don't
listen to
show
me.
them my plays anymore because I used to show them like my season 2, season 3 play, like
Yeah.
the various. I flash from like Lee Sin Qs, or
Yeah.
I dodged the Malphite out.
Yeah.
It was so cool back then, but right now it's like if you don't do it, you don't be a pro player.
They're like, this is solo queue. What are you doing?
Yeah.
That's so funny. What are some of the things that you have learned over the last 15 years, especially transitioning from being a player into a coach, that you sort of take with you that you didn't know back in the day?
I'm not sure how to answer this, but I believe that one thing that I feel like the game has improved a lot is the training ground, where you can create the training. Because back then you didn't have that, and then you didn't have all the replay system.
Yeah.
I feel like players get everything so much easier right now. Like if you wanted to try something out, you had to go into a game, and then you might not manage to try it even after a 30-minute, 60-minute game.
Yeah.
But right now everything you can do it in the practice. So and you can watch the replay, you can watch how the other teams play, you get all the mic check.
Yeah.
So everything is so easy right now.
Yeah. It's like these players don't understand how hard it used to be.
Yeah. We should put them back, let them test it.
Yeah, exactly. Take all that away. How much do you attribute like all these new technologies or like the new information people can get from all these tools to what you were talking about earlier, which is like the average skill level has like gone up a ton? Because I assume that it's just like with practice tool, that type of stuff just helps players get better a lot faster.
Yeah, I feel like it helps a lot. Like if you want to talk about how to practice, let's say Vi Q flash.
Yeah.
If you have to do it in game, your flash is 5 minutes per CD.
Right.
Yeah, and if you do it practice, you can just practice it 10 times per minute or 50 times, 60 times. It's so much easier to master a technique or master some strategy. So I feel like it's so much easier right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have any events that you have gone to over the years that are your favorite, either as a player or as a coach?
I can never forget IPL 4.
Oh
that was
my
like,
gosh, yes.
2012?
Yeah, 2012.
I also met you there, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, so it was awesome because in the East, back in the past, the fans wasn't so hype.
Yeah.
And being in, I remember last time we went to
it was Las Vegas.
Las Vegas,
Yes.
yeah. And it was my 21st birthday.
Oh,
so
yes.
It was so awesome. Like
Yeah.
the fans there made me realize that I want to play the tournament much more. I want to be in esports much more because of going into international tournament, meeting all the fans, especially the Western fans. They are so crazy. Like one guy just say, "Hey, sign on my body, sign on my shirt." You know, you wouldn't see it in the East like back 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But right now, I feel like all the fans are hyping up. Like even in LCP back then. The Asian fans used to be very, very shy, so they would just cheer like "Chayo, Chayo." But right now, everyone cheer for you, just like the Brazilian fans.
Yes.
Back then, it was only like the Brazilian fans were so crazy, so excited. But right now, I feel like all the region, all the fans are like super awesome.
Yeah. Do you feel like, because you were talking about IPL4, I feel like part of the fun of IPL4 was also that these events used to feel like a party for everyone, and now they're so serious. You know, everybody comes in and they're wearing their suits, and you do these interviews and all this stuff. Do you feel like it used to be much more of like a wild time back then?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like back then, everyone was just having fun.
Yeah.
And all the pro players will talk to each other, like just enjoy. You know.
Yeah.
People will not be screaming before the matches, like just talking to each other.
Yeah, they're just taking it out.
But right now everyone is like so serious. Okay, do you want to book Scrim after this interview? You know?
Yeah. So funny. All right. Well, it's super fun to reminisce with you about all these times. But I do want to ask if you have anything that you want to say to any of the fans out there.
So thanks for supporting me. If you guys are still watching my games, I'm not sure if I still have fans from 15 years ago.
They come up to me sometimes, all right? There are some people that come up and they're like, I used to watch State of the League with Doublelift and you. So they're still out there somewhere, the boomers,
The boomers, we're still alive. You know?
Exactly.
So I'm still glad that a lot of people are still watching League of Legends.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you very much.
For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things MSI right here on my YouTube channel. Here we are in Vancouver, Canada for MSI, and you know, I get to travel a lot for work, but I don't get to travel a lot for vacation, which is why when Enchanted Travel, who are big League esports fans, reached out to me and said, hey Travis, we'd love to send you on a trip if you could let people know a little bit more about us. I said, yeah, that sounds fun. I worked with them to go to this beautiful resort in Mexico that you're seeing now. What I loved about working with Enchanted Travel is that they're a great travel agency out of Nebraska. And I know when you hear travel agency, you probably think what I thought, which is like, oh, there's gonna be all these fees. It's so much cheaper for me to book my own travel. No. What's really cool is they take their fees from the hotels that they send you to. So you're not paying anything extra to work with them, which is fantastic because working with them is wonderful. Customer service is their #1 priority, and they will never send a client to a destination or hotel that they haven't been to personally. They offer 24/7 travel assistance, so if anything goes wrong, you just call their number instead of calling some faceless organization that has a website that you've purchased a trip from. Their goal is to hear what the client wants and make recommendations based on what they're looking for, which is exactly what I did. I told them I wanted something a little bit more relaxing, something where I could chill and maybe not do too much adventuring, because I do enough esports adventuring as it is, and they helped me pick the location that I was looking for, and it was fantastic. So look, they're League fans, they're authentic, they're awesome. If you're thinking about making a trip or going on some sort of travel excursion in the future, please just give them a try. I have a link to their description below, and if you mention that I sent you to them, they will hook you up with a little extra gift for your trip. So thank you so much to Enchanted Travel for partnering with me on this. It was super cool to do this, and it's a little different to work with a smaller business that just wants to create really great experiences for their customers. So check them out.